So you want to learn to crow pose. How to get into crow? I can show you, but keep in mind that these arm balances take time to learn. You might not get it on the first try. They do require some upper body strength as well as core strength. You'll want to have some wrist flexibility and balance. So if you haven't already stretched your wrist, that is a good place to start. A couple easy stretches are just pulling back on the fingers. You can bring the hands down to the floor, bringing the fingers towards you, gently pulling back here. I can do another video on all the wrists and forearm stretches, but go ahead and make sure you're warmed up, and I will show you here how to get into your crow arm balance. So first thing is getting set up here. Number one, making sure the hands are gripping the floor nice and tight. So the hands are not just loosely laying on the floor. You're squeezing the floor with the hands, okay? Hands are about shoulder distance, squeezing the floor, and we walk the feet in towards the hands. So you've got to get the hips up high, and you got to walk the feet in nice and close. From here, you're lifting up onto the toes so that you can press the knees into the backs of the triceps, so right into the back of the arm here, okay? What you don't want are the knees out here. This is no good. You don't want the knees outside of the arms. They have to be on the back of the arms, pushing into the arm. Now my hands are rotated out just slightly, gripping the floor, little bend in the elbows, just so that I can get my knees up nice and high on the backs of the arms, as high as you can. Before you try throwing yourself up in here real quick, okay, you don't want to just jump up off the floor, you gently lean forward. Practice shifting the weight into the fingertips. You should be able to hold here, squeezing the floor, okay? Once you get these knees up nice and high, and you feel like you can squeeze the floor with the hands, you can start to play around with leaning forward and maybe lifting a foot, just one at a time, okay? So, get the knees nice and tight on the triceps, right on the backs of the arms. Shift the weight into the hands. Lean forward into the fingertips. Maybe a foot comes up. Maybe a second foot. If you're lifting the feet, you have just a little tiny bend in the elbow so that you're making a shelf for that knee to sit on, okay? You're leaning the weight forward, shifting into the fingers as you squeeze. That's what's going to allow you to hold in this position. If you try to go too far forward and tuck the head, you're going to roll, which is fine. You're not going to hurt yourself, but you want to be able to hold that position. So, once again, squeeze the floor, little bend, knees are right on the backs of the arms. I take my feet back just a little before I lift off here. Shift the weight forward, my hands squeeze. The core is engaged, I'm squeezing everything in. Bring the toes together to touch. Focus the gaze forward. So, you're finding that sweet spot right in the middle where you can lean. You are going to feel that stretch in the wrists as the hands come forward. You can see the row of knuckles there lift a little as you lean and squeeze with the fingers. We're not fully extended in the arms, okay? Little bend, pressing the knee right into the back of the arm. It takes some practice. You can put something in front of you, maybe stack blocks or a pillow. If it makes you feel a little bit more comfortable, bringing the forehead to something. That way you don't feel like you're just going to topple onto the floor. Maybe the forehead comes onto the blocks. You can practice leaning, lifting one foot at a time. But that weight has to be able to shift forward. So you have to build up that confidence with leaning into the fingers. Just like that. So give it a try. Remember to stretch the hands, the wrists, and work the core if you're having a hard time holding that position. Have fun with it.